Hey YouTube, in this video I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something that happened to me today. I met someone new and I spoke to them in Spanish. For those that don't know me, my name is Neon. I'm a native English speaker and I'm learning Spanish. And so basically what happened is that I met up with my friends. All right, it's a big group of us. Most of us are English speakers. I'd say there's a handful that speak Spanish, but we basically always speak English, and that's usually because I don't want to exclude anyone from the conversation. I want everyone to feel included. I want everyone to be able to participate if they have something to say, So I really don't speak it at or when we meet up, right? So. Anywho, I met someone new, and when I asked them what their name was, they gave me a name that's very typical of a Spanish speaker. So I decided, you know what? Let me ask him if he speaks Spanish. And, he said he did. So I was like, yo, okay, cool. Let's speak in Spanish. Let's do it. And, he was kind enough and willing to speak with me in Spanish. We spoke for maybe 5 minutes or so. And then two of our other friends, who are also the other Spanish speakers, they hopped in the conversation as well. I don't really remember what we spoke about, but, the main thing is I was speaking Spanish there, which was really cool. And so I think it's something that I definitely want to do a little bit more often. I never really get the chance to speak English when I go out. Mostly because when I do go out, it's I don't go out frequently in general. But when I do, it's almost always with English speakers. And then, I don't really speak online very much either. I did decide, feeling that confidence boost from talking to this person in Spanish, I decided to ask one of my other Spanish speaking friends. I was like, hey, we should hop on Discord sometime and so I can practice my Spanish, we should talk. And, then they responded with we could just practice here, which I already expected. This is, I've asked him this question before, and I think it's just he prefers to speak in person just like I do. So I totally get it, no biggie. But like I said, it's a little bit difficult to find these opportunities to speak Spanish. Now that there's a couple more of us, I think in total there's maybe 4 or 5 Spanish speakers, maybe 6, that come in and out, not everyone can meet up every single week. I think now that we have enough, we can have a little small group that speaks Spanish off to the side, because basically, since it's such a large group, everyone breaks up into smaller groups and then they kind of flow in and out of conversations. So hopefully this, is the start of a really good opportunity, I guess, for me to start speaking more Spanish. And I'm thinking about buying a hat that says something like Español porfa, or buena onda, or que onda, ¿Qué hubo? Or something just to indicate that I know Spanish, because when I went to the Mexican supermarket the other day, I was racially profiled. No. What happened was I went to pay at the cashier and they just immediately started speaking to me in English. I didn't even say anything. And I was like, damn, bro, I didn't even get a chance. I mean, I understand. I look very white, very stereotypically American, oh, this person clearly does not speak Spanish. But that's not the case. I am Mexican. I have Mexican roots. My mom's from Mexico. I didn't grow up speaking the language, which, it's no biggie. It is what it is. It was probably my fault a little bit more than my mom's. I'm not going to lie. I spent a lot of time with my dad as a kid, and, he didn't speak Spanish. So when my mom finally got around to trying to teach me, she was like, or I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to learn anymore. Because it just felt weird, I didn't quite like I didn't understand what she was saying. So like my brain was hurting and I just was like, nah, I don't want to deal with this. So yeah, you know, that's why I didn't grow up speaking it. But yeah, so I need this hat basically, right? I need this hat to let people know like, hey, I speak Spanish. Please speak it with me. I am begging you. And yeah, that's basically how my day went. You know, going back to the whole like point of this video, I had a lot of fun speaking Spanish in person. It's, you know, I still stutter. I still get nervous. I make a lot of mistakes still, but I think I'm at the point where like, I really do need to be making more of an effort to speak in person. Or at the very least speak online more than like once a week. You know, like I have not been doing my due diligence and speaking as often as I should. So that is one of my things for like 2026 is I'm going to be speaking a lot more frequently. Because that's really the only way that I'm going to get nearly half as good as Maddie's Mundo. Shout out to my idol. Okay. Her Spanish is fantastic. That's how I want to sound one day. But yeah, you know, with that being said, I hope that you guys as well are out there speaking your target languages in person. You know, don't be shy. I know it's tough. You really got to build that muscle. You got to get used to that uncomfortable feeling. It's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. You're going to feel embarrassed. You're going to feel like, you know, native speakers are going to judge you hard for no reason, even if it's like the kindest person in the world. It's a mental thing. You know, it's a muscle, like socializing, doing all this. It's a muscle that you can work, that you can exercise, and you can do it with ease. Like once you just adapt. Right. So get out there, go speak your language that you're learning. Right. And just like bite the bullet. You know, if you can find friends that like speak the language, awesome. Do that. If not, get yourself one of these hats that says like, speak to me in my target language or something. So that other people know that you speak that language or that you're learning it. And they come up to you and they just speak to you without you having to like try and identify who is a speaker of the language you're learning. So that's my pro tip for you guys. But with that being said, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm trying something a little bit different. Let me know if you guys kind of like this more like podcast format or this podcast style format where there's no music in the background. No cuts, anything like that. It's just me, the camera. I hit record, edit the audio real quick to make it sound a little bit better, and then upload. Right. But yeah, I guess before I go though, also let me know what language you guys are learning and what has like been I guess like, have you had a similar experience to me where you just were like, screw it, I need to practice, and you just started talking to someone in your target language. And so like, tell me about that. Tell me how you felt. Give me the details. And with that being said, you know, if you guys enjoy my journey, if you enjoy my progress updates and you're interested in some of the advice I have to give, then hit subscribe, leave a like on this video, and I'll see you guys next time.